All right, y'all, welcome back to FREERIDE Essentials. Today, we're gonna be talking about the front flip. I'm a huge fan of front flips. I think that they should be everyone's first flip on skis. They are way easier than most people think. And I think it's such a unique trick that too many people are afraid to try. And doing it is gonna make you a standout freeride skier anywhere. Front flips are an unusual trick that a lot of people can't even do or have like a mental block around, even at a professional level. I know pro skiers that will not front flip, but it's an easy trick. It's gonna help you establish so much confidence in going inverted for all the other ways that you can get upside down. And it's gonna make you stand out and help you on your path to being a sick freeride skier. Okay, here's what we're gonna be covering in this lesson. First, we're gonna break down the essentials of the front flip. That is the punch, the tuck, and the stomp. Again, punch, tuck, stomp. After that, we're gonna be breaking down the pike front flip. Now, this is an alternative to the punch front flip that's gonna help you slow down your rotation and spot better in the air for those big lofty front flips. After that, like always, we're gonna be doing some skills and drills both on and off snow to help you dial in that fronty. And again, as always, we're gonna be covering some of the bad habits to avoid when you are learning the essentials and the foundations of your front flip. And finally, we're gonna look out into the future of where you can take your front flip as a freeride expert. Okay, as I mentioned, we're gonna start with the basic essentials of the front flip. And those essentials are the punch, the tuck, the stomp, and then after you get all those down, the pike. Okay, let's start with step one, the punch. Now the punch is how you set your front flip, and it's essentially a way to launch yourself out and dive into your front flip with graceful form and the power to get you through that rotation and back to your feet. So the punch is gonna be comprised of a couple steps. Now you're gonna start coming into the jump by shifting your weight just a little bit back onto the heels of your skis. Just a little, not like a huge lean back or anything, but you're rocking back just a little bit. You're gonna have that athletic stance, knees bent, ready to be strong. So you're rocking back. The next step, as you take off of your jump, you're going to spring forward. You're gonna spring forward, and you see how I'm lifting one leg up off the ground? That's on purpose. The additional thing you're gonna do is you're going to kick out into your flip with one leg. Now, one of your legs is gonna have to be in control on the ground, and I don't want you to come into the jump like with a leg off the ground or anything, but just think about you're rocking back, and as you spring forward, you are kicking into your flip as well. Kicking into your flip is gonna really help you set that rotation and feel really confident. So rock back, spring forward, and kick out. The last aspect of the punch for your front flip is you're spotting out at your landing. So you aren't looking down, you aren't throwing yourself like this. You're rocking back, springing forward, kicking out, and spotting your landing. Bam, bam. The next step after the punch is the tuck. Now, once you have rocked back, sprung forward, kicked up, and spotted your landing, then you're gonna bring your head and your arms down. You're gonna bring your knees in, and you are tucking and looking through. See, my line of sight is through as you tuck to complete that flip. One of my feet's on the ground because gravity, but make sure that you're bringing both your legs in while you're in the air. Now, the last part of executing the perfect front flip is the stomp. So you're in your tuck, you've rotated through, you're about 3/4, maybe even 80% of the way through your trick. You're gonna release from that tuck, you're gonna extend your feet toward the ground, and you're trying to essentially put the tails of your skis on the ground first and rock into your landing. So again, you're going from tucked to extended. Really reach out with your feet and try to feel for that landing. It's gonna help because you're not able to really spot your landing since you're back here. You need to reach and feel for it with your skis. So reach out, extend toward the landing. As you're rotating back to that upright position, in addition to extending out with your legs, you're gonna wanna reach out for that 4-point landing, you know, the classic 4-point landing, and you're gonna be looking out and ahead of you, trying to make sure that you don't look down, because if you look down, you're gonna over-rotate, and you're not looking up still, because you're gonna under-rotate, but you wanna be looking out as you come back around, putting your feet down, reaching out for the 4-point landing, and pushing through, just like every other 4-point landing. Yo, what's up, y'all? Hope that the lesson is hitting. Hoping some things are really connecting. Thank you for watching, and if you are enjoying this, I have some news for you. This is actually one episode of an 11-episode course series that I've made called the FREERIDE Essentials. If it is November 26, 2025 or later, then it's out. You can find it anywhere that I have social media. You know, if you're resonating with this lesson, it's got 10 more that are just like this, covering the whole range, you know, everything from how to air, how to ski powder, trees, terrain, how to ski style, how to front flip, back flip, nose butter 3, grabs, shifties, kind of the whole thing. Yeah, it's $79. Obviously that's not free. The benefit that you get out of this course series is like just so much greater than the cost of the program. So yeah, if this is connecting with you, I really encourage you to check it out. There's more info at the course landing page. So just head over to the link in my bio here or on any of my other social media platforms to check out the FREERIDE Essentials course series. Thanks for watching. Let's get back to it. One more time, we're gonna run through it. So rock back, spring forward, dive out, kick up, spotting, and then you're coming in, you're tucking, you're bringing your chest and your head through the flip, tucking. And then as you're coming back around, you are extending out of that tuck, reaching for the ground, reaching out for the 4-point landing, spotting, stomping, pushing through. Congratulations, you just did your first punch front flip. So sick. Okay, practice that a bunch before this next step. I really want you to have that on snow before you're even considering this next step. But the next step of the front flip is the pike. Now this is for if you want to learn how to slow down your front flip, do it a little bit more like floaty, and have more time to spot your landing and feel less like you're gonna over rotate. This is really something you should only be doing if you're on like 10 or more feet of air. If it's less than that, this is gonna cause you to under rotate your flip. But if you are catching some air, instead of tucking, what I want you to think about doing is you can still drop your chest and look through for the flip. Keep your legs kind of straight, maybe like a little bit of a comfortable bend, and see how I'm in sort of an L shape right now? There's an angle going on. You wanna kind of hold this L shape through the duration of your spin. And then when you get around that 75, 80% mark, you can have your skis up here. And what it's gonna enable you to do is sort of look out at your landing before you bring your skis down, and it's gonna help you slow down your rotation. So you're piking into a L shape. You do the exact same set, dive out, spot your landing, kick out, but instead of tucking, dive out and then pike, let your body fold, let your legs stay in that bent shape and hold that until it's time to land. When you can spot your landing and you can see it, it's time to reach out for that 4-point landing and wait till just the last second and bring your skis under you. Go from here to here at the last second and push through with that 4-point landing. That's the pike front flip. It's gonna help you slow down and spot your landing a little bit better. All right, let's get into some skills and drills. There are 2 things that you can kind of do to help you set up for the front flip at home. Now, I do want to mention that if you have access to like a pool or a diving board or a trampoline, this is a great opportunity to just practice doing the front flip there. You can practice it just underwater at the pool just to feel what it's like, or try jumping off the edge of the ground into the water. Or if you have a trampoline, just practice getting that rotation around on the trampoline. That'll help a lot. If you don't have any of these, you can just practice in your living room with a couple drills. The first one, it's kind of silly, but I promise it's gonna help. I just want you to do a front roll on the ground and come back up to your feet, just like this. That's it. All I want you to do is roll forward. I just want you to get used to the idea and the feeling of rolling over your body for that front flip. Let's do one more. Ready? You dive outward. I just kicked my table behind me. You're just rolling just to get the feel for going upside down. It's gonna help a lot, I promise. Okay, the last drill that you can practice in your living room to dial in the front flip is getting the feeling for that rock back into the punch. Now this is pretty simple. It's honestly just kind of like rocking back and forth with your skis on, but it's gonna help you get an idea of how your weight transfer should feel when you're coming off the takeoff of that jump. And it's gonna help you dial in the feeling of going from being on your heels to being forward and punching. So what you essentially wanna do, have that athletic stance, practice feeling really solid and strong, ready for a pop, shin pressure and everything. And then you're leaning back a little bit on your heels. See how my knees are still bent? See how I still have an angle and I'm still strong here? My core is also strong and engaged. And then just punch forward. And see how I'm kind of simulating the kick with my one foot? By the way, you can pick whichever foot makes the most sense for you. A lot of people like to do it with the foot that they lead their spin with. So for instance, I like to spin left, so I often kick with my left foot on the punch front flip, but whatever works for you works fine. So just practice leaning back and punching out into that flip. See how I'm kind of springing up, leaning back, and punching up into that flip. Okay, you've run some drills at home in the living room. Now it's time to take it to the hill. The first thing I want you to do on snow, this is gonna be a little counterintuitive, but I want you to find a really, really small jump with a soft landing with a lot of snow and take the front flip to your back. Just do one to get the feeling of going completely inverted, open up, lie down, land in a soft cloud of powder. Make sure it's into soft snow. Don't do this on the hard pack, but it honestly really helps to just get a feel for being upside down, to just take one to your back and just see that it's not as bad as you think. And if you have a soft landing, this isn't gonna hurt, it's gonna feel fine. Once you've taken a couple to your back and some powder, it's time to stomp your front flip. I suggest for this that you find a small jump or a head wall with a good 5 to 7 feet of air, and really just commit and remember those fundamentals we talked about. Remember that you really need the punch, the tuck, and the stomp, and really think about committing to that stomp, and you're gonna land it and ride right through it. The final thing that I want you to do on snow once you've done your first front flip is do it a bunch. Do this thing off of every single feature you can find that you think you're gonna have enough air to get it around. This is one that repetition really brings out the perfection in. Just practice getting your reps in and doing that front flip a ton of times, and in no time, you're gonna feel so comfortable and confident executing this flip. Okay, let's talk about the 2 bad habits that I really want you to avoid in perfecting your front flip. The first one is not committing to the punch of the front flip. Now, I see this happen all the time and people wonder why they can't get their front flips around. They're throwing it as hard as they can. They're chucking their head down and they don't realize that they're actually taking strength away from their front flip. The reason that you don't want to throw down and you do want to punch out is that if you're throwing down on your front flip, you're essentially setting yourself into the snow. You're putting your effort and all of the energy that you have built up into the takeoff of your jump. And if there's a wall under you and you're throwing your rotation into it, the wall of snow below you, the ground, is going to limit your ability to keep speed and momentum. You really need to get out into the air and dive into your front flip to have the speed to do this. This is true on any size of jump, big or small. Throwing down is gonna prevent you from having a solid front flip. You need that pop. You need to dive out into it. You can't just chuck yourself into your front flip. It won't work. Now, the other bad habit that I want you to avoid is giving up 2/3 of the way through your front flip and backslapping. I know that our first drill on snow was to practice backslapping, and I think it's really important for overcoming the fear block that a lot of people have around going upside down. But I want you to be really careful about letting that fear block mechanism become a habit that you rely on and just landing on your back every time. I also see this a lot. I see people who have tried a bunch of front flips but can never seem to land it because they always just get 2/3 of the way around and then they open up and they land on their back. The way to avoid this is to really think about getting upright and reaching for that 4-point landing. You gotta reach, get your body forward, reach out and stomp the 4-point landing. Don't give up and land on your back. I know it's scary to think about over-rotating the front flip, but I promise that you're gonna get it clean and dialed if you don't give up and if you reach for the landing and spot. Don't get scared and land on your back every single time. Okay, you've got your punch front flip dialed. I'm so proud of you. That's so sick. Maybe you've even done a couple of the pikes off of larger features. That's awesome too. Let's talk about scaling the front flip up into really rad free ride opportunities. The first thing that I think is really cool is the Superman front flip. They're a really popular variation on the front flip. The Superman is essentially starting with that punch and that springing diving out motion, and you just hold it there. You just hold as long as you can until you're ready to tuck into the rest of your flip. This is also a really stylish way to slow down your front flips. It's gonna give you less ability to spot your landing than the Pike front flip, but the Superman front flip is really cool. It's really steezy. It's just one of those things that takes a trick from being cool to really cool. The Superman front flip is an awesome thing to throw off bigger features to add more style into your front flip. The next thing that I want you to do is think about some of the natural terrain features that are conducive to front flips. Now, that really big lippy takeoff is totally fine for a front flip, but I think the front flip is a great opportunity to do a trick that other people wouldn't on terrain that's naturally conducive to a forward rotation. So some things I would think about on this are if you have a natural step over or a step up kind of feature. That's one where the jump is at a lower point than the landing. It's such a low impact and chill way to throw a front flip to do it up a big step up. So think about setting that big punch front flip, looking up at your landing, rotating and coming around and stomping like you never even left the ground. The other natural feature I'd recommend for front flips is cliffs. Front flips are a little hard to land off cliffs because you have a lot of downward momentum, but it's such a steezy way to get out over the cliff, especially if there's like brush or debris or it's not a perfect 90-degree cliff away from the ground. If there's some stuff you need to clear over, that punch is gonna help you get up, out, and over things below you. So it's a really cool thing to do off of a cliff. If there's like a couple trees in the landing or something that you need to clear out over, that's a really cool way to scale up the front flip. Do something rowdy off of a really big feature or something that you need to gap out over something to make it to your landing. All right, we've gone through all the essentials as well as what to look out for and bad habits to avoid. Let's do a quick review of the assignments that you're gonna take from this lesson to get your front flips dialed in. First off, I want you to practice that somersault on the ground. Second, I want you to practice that rock and that punch sensation on the ground in your living room. Just get a feel for it with your skis on your feet. Next, head out to snow, and if you're feeling a little bit scared, just get it out of the way by taking one to your back. Find some really, really soft snow to do this into. I've even shoveled snow into the landing for people to do this before. I don't really recommend that. It's definitely best saved for a powder day. But yeah, take one to your back just to get over the hurdle of the fear of going upside down. Next, throw it, stomp it, emphasis on the 4-point landing. That's really gonna help you stomp. And then finally, repeat that over and over and over off of everything you can. Incorporate the pike if you have the opportunity to do it on a bigger feature and you want to practice slowing down, but just repetition, repetition, repetition makes the perfect front flip. And that's it, you've got the front flip. This lesson is one of my favorites because I think it really unlocks a lot of confidence in freeride skiers learning how to do a flip and land on their feet. You know, the front flip is a crowd pleaser, but it's also a fundamental skill for getting used to the feeling of inversion. So it's one of those things that once you learn, even as an intermediate skier, you're gonna carry it with you forever, all the way up to being a professional freeride competitor on the world tour. A front flip is rad. All right, thanks again for watching another episode of Freeride Essentials. Can you feel yourself getting better as a skier? I hope so. Go out, work on that front flip, and then come back here and let's get into the next lesson.